Elmore back into this conversation. John, this is a very close-knit neighborhood there, that Tops Market on Jefferson, I'm sorry. Yeah. And that really is a community spot, right?
It is. People were so excited when Tops decided to build that place because it was a food desert. People could only get food in a corner grocery store, and it's a place where people can get healthy food and milk and supplies and meat for their homes and to eat. So yeah, it's within walking distance of a lot of people's homes. Public transportation is available there. People don't have to go to the suburbs, and also it's an economic engine for that community because a lot of people in that neighborhood work there.
John, you've been in law enforcement for a long time. We cannot ignore the racial aspect of this, correct?
You cannot ignore the racial aspect of it. I mean, there's a lot of white supremacist groups that you know, just dominate social media. This guy was wearing military gear. He came to a predominantly African American area. I begged, an educated guess will tell me that all 10 of the victims that were killed were African American. I'm going to come out and say what I believe it is, that it was a hate crime. Mm-hmm. It was a racially motivated hate crime, and we'll find out what the suspect's story was because he's being questioned by the Buffalo Police Department now. And there's video that the police should have by now inside the Tops supermarket, because that place has surveillance cameras all over the place. So I'm very confident that all of the shootings were captured on video. This guy's not going to get away with it. People automatically are going to assume that he was mentally ill. But in New York State, mental illness alone is not a defense to homicide. You have to prove that the person's mental illness is so bad that they don't appreciate the nature and of their conduct and don't have the ability to control it. So in other words, you could be a mentally ill person, but just because you're mentally ill isn't a complete defense from killing somebody. Your mental illness has to be so ill that you can't even control your conduct. You know, obviously this was intentional. It was targeted. It was planned. It was well thought out. And let's hope that this guy spends the rest of his life in prison.
It's also going to be interesting, John, to find out whether or not the shooter is from Western New York or if this is somebody from the outside who came in. Right. And if he did come from the outside, why did he choose Buffalo? Why did he choose that location? And also, if he's not from Buffalo, somebody had to tell him about that location.
That's, you know, I mean, Jefferson Avenue is the heart of Buffalo's black community. Barbershops, bars, grocery store, banks, medical facilities right there. And it's obvious why that was, if he wanted to make a statement, that would be the street to go if he wanted to make a statement.